So I'm working on a Bell and Howell movie projector, Super 8. And I have taken the whole thing apart and greased it, and I still have a flickering problem. In other words, the film is not framed in the center. So upon just looking at this, what happens is this wheel turns around, but it is cutting off the film. This part right here is chopping off the film. So it does this thing that they call flicker. In other words, it shows the picture, but only half chopped off. So it looks, you can't watch the movie. So I have looked online for a solution to this problem, and I have found nothing. So I have greased this thing up, and so I'm going to give this a shot and see what happens. But I'll bet you I can fix this. So I could take all the gears apart, right? But look right there. There's a set screw. And I'll bet you if I back that set screw and I can break this gear away from this shaft and get it to spin in that set screw, I can sync this up without taking off all the gears. Also, there's another set screw, not there, but on that spindle right there. And that one may be the ticket. We'll see. Let's get in there. A little old grease, but the thing spins really good now. It was kind of locked up. Okay, so now the set screws are lined up. That was super easy, right? They're pretty darn close. I might need a fine adjustment, but let's see if my idea has solved my problem. So I'm going to turn. I saw a guy put a halogen bulb in replacement of the really expensive low hour original bulb. But what I did is instead of a halogen, I got an LED. Now it's only 50 lumens, not 150. But I don't need it real bright because I'm not shining it on the wall. I'm shining it into a converter box. So instead of trying to break it down to 12 volts from the original electricity inside, I just added a second power source of a 12 volt little wall wart here. So we're going to plug that in, and boom, and it doesn't burn the film. So what I'm going to do, the cool thing about the LED bulb, even though it's just duct taped in there right now, I'm going to make a little professional housing for it. But the cool thing is it doesn't get hot. So, and you can buy 150 lumens LED bulbs. It's a higher wattage wall wart, but you can buy all those online for, probably $20 at the most. Also, I had replaced this belt, and I was looking online, but I found the absolutely perfect belt at the hardware store. It fits around a Culligan water filter. It's the seal that goes around the water filter. It was the perfect belt. I couldn't believe it, and it was $3. So I truly believe that someone had tried to replace this wheel, and they replaced it with the wrong one. So I may be out of luck on this projector. Everything seems to work. I did come up with a solution for the LED light, which is very cool. It just doesn't burn the film. And that is actually helping me troubleshoot and solve this issue. See, it's so hard. That's the wrong wheel. I'll bet you anything. So I'm going to keep researching online. But yeah, it is absolutely out of sync. And so there's another projector I may go look at in a few days. I don't know. So anyway, have a great day. Or I'll cut this movie out before I say silly things like that. But, you know, it's greased up and it works. It's just out of sync. So I have searched on Google and I only found one picture of the inside of the exact machine I have. And it looks like the framing wheel is the correct one, but it's hard to tell. So that may not be the issue. I'm really curious about this. I'm going to figure this out because I'm relentless. I will not give up until I figure it out. So here we go. So the set screws weren't the problem. The wheel wasn't the problem. It's just out of sync with the film. There's a thing called a framer, which is right here. You adjust that, and it moves the wheel around a little bit. I'm not sure if that's even working, but I'm going to try to figure this out. So now I'm in discovery mode. I move this framer up and down, and it moves that wheel right there, or that mechanical part, and it seems to be moving. Let me see if I can get a good shot of this. Right above that little light right there. The one but right above there. It seems to be moving something, but it doesn't really move anything. So something may be missing altogether. I do not know. Okay, so we unplugged the light. That's how I saw it, was with the light on because of the LED. So you can't see it now. So we're gonna dig a little deeper and just keep good track of the parts as I take them off. We're gonna figure this puppy out. I actually have an 8mm, not a Super 8 projector also. So I may compare and see what's happening. Okay. So here's the 8mm, and there's the framer. If you look right inside that little crack, something's moving up and down. So I think I need to compare. I don't have a light in this one. I am going to put a LED in this one too. And I'm just going to, instead of having it with wire nuts, even though it's only 12 volts, I'm going to get a little plug. That way I can use this transformer and just plug it into each one. You know, and just have a plug on each one. Just plug it in, you're good to go. So, like I said, I'm going to dig a little deeper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these off, and I put a little magnet on the screwdriver to magnetize it. So I don't lose the screws. There we go. See how that works? And I have this little tray that I got at the thrift store. I ended up buying 6 of them. And that's great. For each project I'm working on, I can have a little tray. So I have to remove these to get to the screws behind there because they're literally in the way. But be very careful because there's a little wheel and a little washer, and it's going to be tough to get them back in. And there's also the same on the bottom. There's a little wheel there, and there's a washer in there. So we'll see. There's another little wheel right there. Be very careful. You don't want to lose any parts because you'll never be able to find replacements. So patience and very gentle. So I got the bottom one off, and that fit in there, but the top one is being difficult. There's like a little, that little pole there is definitely keeping this from coming out. And I really don't want to take the gears apart again, because I've already done that to re-grease everything, to get that out, to get that screw out. I've got it to the point where I can get my screwdriver in there, but I don't know how I'm going to get that screw back in. That is going to be a challenge. So I'll have to be creative and maybe make a tool to get that one screw in. But I'm going to take it out. I'm going to give it a shot. I want to see what's happening on the inside. A little plate out, and I've got the little 4 screws right there. I'm glad I'm taking video, because I can always go back and review it to see how it's put together. But here is the framer. And as I move that up and down, that little guy moves up and down. So I think that goes into that slot there, and it's just bent. It didn't work before. The framer didn't work. So I'm going to give this another shot. So it may be a combination of that little framer moving this guy up and down, right? And the gears being out of sync with these set screws. So maybe a double problem, right? In combination, and together they cause this issue. So it does look like it might be bent a little bit right there. Right there. So I'm going to kind of bend it out so it fits back in that slot right there. Okay, so here's the 8mm. And that goes up and down, but the teeth aren't sticking through. I've come to the realization that it was bent. And what happens, hold on, let me get it. Okay, that's moving up and down. But those teeth are actually in the film. They hold the film and move that film up and down. And that's how you adjust the flickering issue. So I took a little painter's tape, just cut a real small piece and wrapped it around the head of the screw, pulled back from the threads so the threads stick out, so I can get it right in that little hole that you can't see. Okay. If I get it at the right angle, I can get it in there. The tape has actually been a lifesaver because it's flexible. By Jove, we got it. Pull that out. Now pull the tape out. Maybe trapped in there a little bit. Let me get a pair. Who knew? I went from a framing hammer and a skill saw to a little itty bitty screwdriver and a pair of tweezers. Go figure. And now we can get the tape off. Boy, it's on there. Yeah, there we go. All right. Tape is off. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to try to get this. This one was tough. I've done this before. But what you do, you take a little bit of tape. A little bit less. All right, just a little bit of tape. And you wrap it around. Down. Then you take your tweezers. You grab that puppy and you tape it on the tweezer. Well, you can put it in there. and get your screw in there. Kind of manipulate it until you get it in the hole. There we go. I grabbed those threads. Don't cross the threads. All right, there we go. She's working, Captain. Or she's back together. I don't know if she's working yet. But I'm going to get this kind of dialed back in, make sure everything's super clean. I want the grease off of everything. Okay, so here we go. I got it all back together. Fixed the framer. I had another little problem, but it was super minor. So we got the motor running. We're going to plug in the light. Right? Bam! And because it's not the bulb, I can focus it. Get it focused. And then we're going to go forward. Oh my gosh. I fixed this. Adjust the framer. Get it in the middle. I have fixed this projector. Yay! It only took me about a week and a half to figure it out. But it was a cool project, and I sure learned a lot. And I also learned that my framer on my 8mm was bad. And I also learned about using LED bulbs, or I figured that one out myself. It was kind of a process, but there we go. There is the film. It's a little shaky. Oh, there we go. They're swinging on the swings. Oh my God. Alrighty. Now I can start digitizing. Yay!